Hi, I am Dr. B. Muhammad Ali, Department of Chemistry, Savitha Engineering College. Today we have to discuss the environmental pollution, particularly for the thermal pollution. The course outcome for this lecture explain about the role of a human being in maintaining a clean, sustainable environment for the future generations. The learning outcome of this lecture. At the end of this lecture, students will be able to gain knowledge on sources, effects, and the control of thermal pollution. First of all, we have to know that what is meant by thermal pollution. The term thermal pollution is addition of excess of undesirable heat to water that makes it harmful to man, animals, or aquatic life is called thermal pollution. So the causes of the thermal pollution: the nuclear power plant, industrial effluents, domestic sewage, hydroelectric power, coal-fired power plant, thermal shock. The other causes of thermal pollution like deforestation, soil erosion. So we have to discuss one by one. The first, the coal-fired power plant. The thermal power plants utilize coal as a fuel. This constitutes the major source of thermal pollutants. The condenser coil are cooled with the water from lake or nearby. The discharge of hot water are sent back to the nearby river, which in turn it results into killing of fish and other marine organisms. So this type of thermal and heat which will be harmful for the water. So this is the thermal pollution of coal-fired power plant. So the next one is the industrial effluents. The industrial wastewater treatment covers the mechanisms and the process used to treat wastewater that is produced as a byproduct of industrial or commercial activities. After treatment, the treated industrial wastewater may be reused or released to sanitary sewer or to a surface water in the environment. So the industrial effluents can also be heated the water, so it is causes the thermal pollution. So the next one is for domestic sewage. The domestic sewage is the primary source of and the perishable organic substance. All sewage from cities and the towns is likely to be contain pathogens of some type. Example for potentially presenting a direct threat to public health, which causes the thermal pollution. So the next one is for hydroelectric power. The most common type of hydroelectric power plant uses a dam and a river to store water in a reservoir. The water released from the reservoir flows through a turbine, spinning it, which in turns activates a generator to produce electricity. So at the time of the producing electricity, the large amount of heat will produces that will causes our water thermal pollution. So the effects of the thermal pollution, like the reduction in dissolved oxygen, increase in toxicity, interference with biological activities, interference with reproduction, the direct mortality, finally the food storage for fish. So the control of the thermal pollution, we should know the following tips for control the thermal pollution. The first one is establishment of cooling towers, constructing ponds or collecting hot water. The next one is artificial lakes can be made for the hot effluents from where the cool water can be recycled. The next one is the cold water or air showers may be used in the industries to check out hot gases at the sources. The excess of heat energy that is produced in the generation of electricity may be utilized in another industry where this energy may be required. This process is called cogeneration. Finally, in places where the residential or commercial buildings are located near the industrial plants, the waste hot water may be used for heating purposes. So the measurements of a control can be thermal pollution can be controlled. The recent news about the thermal pollution, like the global warming and the climate week of 2022, the World Congress on Climate Change and Sustainability will be held on the Germany. Thank you for attending this lecture.